Okay, Jonathan Fibonacci, what do you think? You like this one? Thinking about my Twitter picture. You like this one? Or even kind of stay old school and go with this one. What do you think? Which one's better? Nature lover, dad, stock trader, newbie comic. Look, I'm going to talk about financial stuff. Oh, by the way, Trump just released his tax returns, and he paid 41% of his income, allegedly, in taxes. 150, made, I think he spent like 38 million on taxes, made 150. Now we live in a country that 41%, and just compare that to, some of the mainstream comments like MSNBC or CNN. I mean, we have a tax bracket of 41% for some people. I mean, and most people who make money, they're paying 30, 40% in federal. Then you add state and local, and before you know it, we have a 50, 55% tax bracket when you look at all the taxes, from the myriad of taxes, from the taxes you pay for milk, to taxes that are kind of unofficial, like driving down the road and you're paying state income tax or a toll. Maybe think about just if it cost you $200 a month in tolls, you need to add that to your tax bill. And what is the real life tax bracket in America? Well, in this on today, Donald Trump, our president, whatever you think of him, whatever you like of him, he's paying 41% of his money in taxes. I want to talk a little bit about some financial stuff and what are EFTs. I know it's kind of a hard left, but what is an EFT and how do they influence the market? Let me turn down my Braveheart music. Let's talk about what is an EFT, and most people don't even know. In Barron's magazine, The Future of EFT, there was an article about, what is the future? And for most people, we don't even know what an EFT is. This is a really good example. This is an article by, I think her name is Crystal Kim. All this is on my Twitter. It says what Flows really says about the market. It says the day after President Donald Trump spoke, 82 billion poured into the SPDR. What is a SPDR? Well, SPDR is a ticker symbol SPY. Thank you, Crystal Kim, for your reporting. Fibonacci says holla. You're like, I don't even know Fibonacci. I've already introduced myself. Jonathan Fibonacci. You can simply visit me at Fibonacci. The reason why I think it's interesting is because I'm an old finance guy. And so, like for example, some of that even makes sense to me. We're talking about what is an EFT, and for some people it's they're saying, how does an EFT act as a mechanism for price discovery? And you have four, or in this case, two examples of people, this Ross guy and this Weedman. I think his name is Mark Weedman. I like his answer the best. But he says, but if you really look at what he's talking about, he says people use EFT in stressful markets to define the new price. It is where liquidity pools find new prices. And so if you really think about that, just let that digest, that basically an EFT, and there's four main EFTs, or think of money coming into the stock market through four streams. And these EFTs, they bring a profound, $88.2 billion per day comes into these EFTs. And they're supposed to act as almost kind of a litmus test of what the market price is. The problem is the complexity of them and who really, really understands them. And isn't the price discovery left up to the individual stock to the individual stock or the individual market maker? So once we think of in terms of the mortgage-backed security, which we had the mortgage, then we had kind of the mortgage-backed security and all the complexity, look at what that did to the market. And is that complexity serving or hurting the markets? And let me just ask that question. Do EFTs help or hurt the market? And if all they're creating is liquidity for whom? Liquidity for the market or for the four largest banks like Goldman or what have you? let me show you this. This is kind of an interesting thing, because if in fact these index funds, these EFTs, if in fact they really, really produce kind of a litmus test of where the market is, look at this. This is a 20-year chart. I found this SPY. It closed, just so you can see here, it is 314, 2017. It's down slightly today. It closed at 236.90. Look at that. Now, from an Elliott wave perspective, I mean, I could just teach Elliott wave on the SPY. I mean, we are in clearly a fifth wave. Now, how long that fifth extension continues, I don't know. I don't know. But let me show you something that I noticed that did concern me. Because number one is, I believe, based upon Elliott wave theory or wave theory, is we are in a fifth wave. Okay? What happens after the fifth wave? Well, we have a 5ABC, which is a short call. This is something that I noticed that brought me a little concern right here. We're going to go back to this person here. I think her name is Crystal Kim. If you notice, she talks about that there are other factors behind inflows. Hedge funds are covering short positions. Now think about that. The hedge funds are covering their short positions. So the hedge funds are predicting that the market is going to go down. It just so happens that they're a little early, and now they're waiting for the market to go down. So I didn't go to MIT, and I don't have these complex doctorate degrees from Ivy League schools, but I do know that when hedge funds are covering short positions, that's an indication or an indicator of the market going down. And who's really having that conversation except Fibonacci? And then even if you just look at it from a technical perspective, just a technical perspective, the SPY, we are clearly in a fifth position. And this would not be a market that I would take any long positions or any lengthy long positions. This is, if hedge funds are covering their short positions, covering them, which means they've already made a decision, now they're covering that. Go watch The Big Short. I mean, these are really, really smart people making really, really complex decisions. We are in a short position. So hang tight. Study Elliott wave. Listen to Fibonacci. Remember, the informed investor is the successful investor. Email me, Americana417 at gmail.com. Look at that. Braveheart music. Boom. Or follow me at Fibonacci. What is the future of EFT? That sounds so serious. But serious, we're talking about billions and billions, and some of these funds have trillions of dollars in reserves. And just what is the impact of one EFT being made offy? Think about that. What is the impact to the market if one EFT had a Madoff or had a Madoff-like thing? So put the story of Madoff on the table and look at the complexity of what he did. And then look at the fact that all of our monies are coming through 4 funds. We're talking a massive amount of money. Thoughts, questions? I love to hear your intelligent disagreements. I don't debate, but I do like smart disagreements. Email me, Americana417 at gmail.com.